Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or hello and welcome if you are brand new here. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert, and in today's video I'm bringing you the iconic Kylie Jenner hair tutorial. Kylie's hairstylist recently just shared on TikTok exactly what she does to Kylie to create her signature sexy, tousled, flicky, bouncy, voluminous hairstyle. So yeah, I'm going to be breaking it down for you guys today. Prepare yourself because there's a lot of tools. It is a little bit complicated, I'd say, but I'm going to break it down for you in a super easy way, show you exactly how to do your whole head. So yeah, let's get into it.
Finally, giving everyone. Right now we're just blowing out my hair and then we're gonna put some clip-ins in.
Step number one, we're gonna blow out the hair. I talk about this a lot in pretty much all of my other videos, but actually preparing your hair and kind of just blowing it out smooth is so important for even these kind of wavy looks. And I think some of you might argue you could literally go in and wave on top of that already. I mean, I could, but the waves at the moment, they're so inconsistent. So this is actually second day hair for me, and I literally just kind of brushed my hair out and kind of twisted and clipped it up, so it's kind of pulled out a lot of my natural wave. But yeah, it did literally pretty much just air dry yesterday, but it was kind of twisted up. So you see how all of this is kind of a different texture on top and it's a bit more smooth, and then here we are a lot more kinky and wavy, and we just want to be starting off with the perfect base, smooth. Remember, the smoother the hair, the shinier the hair is going to be, and shiny hair is really key to this look as well. And also we just want to pop and prep products in the hair. So first up, my hair is just feeling a little bit dry on the ends, so I'm going to pop in some oil. This is the brand new Aveda Miraculous oil, so I'm actually just curious to try and test this one because I've not really used this one yet. And this actually does protect from heat up to 232 degrees, so it does protect really high. Oh, that's a really nice consistency actually. It's quite, how can I describe that? It's not too thick actually. Kind of rubs into the hands really nicely. So I'm just gonna pop that in the mid lengths and ends to start. I've just done one pump, then massage that into my hands. And then next I want to give my hair that hold factor because we're putting wave, we're putting curl and shape into the hair. So we need a product that's actually going to give it that grip and that hold. So one of my favorites, the L'Oreal Play. I love this because it's really lightweight, it's easy to apply into dry hair, and especially as you're then drying it in on top. And yeah, you can apply quite a lot of this one. It definitely doesn't feel sticky, this one. And then we want to dry those products into the hair and smooth out the hair. So my favorite tool just to do that at the moment is the brand new Dyson Airwrap Co-anda ×2 with this new smoothing brush attachment. I am just loving it lately. And I have already used this actually just to blow dry my fringe, just up and downwards, and just like smooth that out and get that into place. I'll run through each section first and just kind of run that brush through just with the tool off, just to make sure all the tangles are out. And I am just going to pop it up to, actually, do you know what? It's given me medium heat, medium speed. So I will keep it at that actually. I don't think we really need to go in on the highest heat for now. We just literally just need to iron out and smooth this out. If you are like a lot curlier than me and you really need to pull and get a lot more tension on your hair to smooth it out first of all, then I probably would go up to high heat and high speed. That just depends on like personal preference. Done the pre kind of blow, and yeah, that oil is really nice, guys. As you can see, my hair's really nice and soft and shiny.
Best to show you how we get my waves. So I've got an 1.5-inch curling iron. I'm going towards the face and I'm doing a really classic curl where it's all curled under towards the face for these bottom sections.
Step number 2, we are going in with the voluminous curls first of all with the 1.5-inch curling iron on the bottom section. So this curling iron that I have got is the Bouncy Pro. I literally just think it's called the 1.5-inch curling iron, and this one you can actually set and change the temperature. So I have set it to 185 degrees Celsius because I'm going on to use my GHD as well after this, and that is also 185 degrees Celsius. So it seems fair we keep it at that same temperature. And then I'm going to take my first section level with the top of the ears. So yeah, just draw a line till your index fingers meet at the back of the head, and you get a lovely little first section like this, and then bring both sides to the front. So taking all of that section, I'm gonna open up the tong, keep the arm of the tong open, place it right at the root, and you're creating the volume curls. So we want, yeah, basically the hair coming up over the tong rather than the opposite way. Coming up and over is going to give you that volume and that root lift there. And her hairstylist did use the tong kind of pointing away on both sides, so that's how I'll use it here. And then what you really want to do, focus on wrapping the hair around flat so you don't have any kinks around the barrel. You see I've just got a little end there, cross it over, close that in, and then just glide down because you really do want to get that end in, and then we're just wrapping it right back up to the root there. And then I'm going to hold on for about 6 seconds. 3, 4. So with my talking that was probably 6 seconds. And then you're literally just going to, I'd always recommend when you let the hair go, you're going to catch it and just hold it there just for a couple seconds. But her hairstylist isn't actually pinning these curls, she's just leaving them. Literally see how bouncy that's gone. I've lost half my hair length. My hair holds curl very, very easily. Maybe I could actually leave it on the hair for less amount of time, but I'm going to repeat the exact same on this side now. Holding your tong, keep the arm open with flat wrapping the hair around, which means you're really focusing on keeping the hair straight as it wraps around. There's no twists in the hair. Overlap that end just so it doesn't glide out, and you're gliding right to the ends to get that very little end in and nice and tucked under. Glide all the way to the end and then wrap back up because that's what's going to give us that root lift there. 3, 4, 5, 6. The max really you want to hold 185 on the hair for is 8 seconds. I wouldn't say any longer than 8 seconds, just for like the health of your hair. And you do also have the option, if you do want to, you could pin these ones. I'm just going to drop that there. So you see we've got these lovely bouncy, big, that kind of bouncy blow dry like curl. And she said she does it for the bottom section, so I'm actually just going to take my next section up as well. So roughly about 2 inches up from that last one. And I am going to repeat the same again on that next row. I think if we don't do this very next row afterwards, it's going to look a bit strange. We've literally just got 2 curls, one on each side like that. So I'm going to do the same these ones again. Underneath curls done, so that's what's giving us that bounce. And technically your underneath layers, they're always the longest part of your hair. You can almost afford your hair to bounce up a little bit more on these bottom layers. That's kind of built a base for the hairstyle, I guess.
Switching to 1.25 inches, and I'm going to switch the type of curl I'm doing and the direction. Instead of doing a more classic curl, I am going to kind of start at the top and pull my way out. But really the biggest secret with this is just doing a bunch of different types so nothing lays together uniformly.
So now with your 1.5 inch, you can actually put this away. We're not using this again in the tutorial. I'm going to swap to your 1.25 inch. So this one that I'm going to be using is the GHD soft curl tong, like literally my favorite ever curling tong. It's 32 millimeters, so yeah, 1.25, and you can just see the difference in size there. It is a really quite big difference actually between the 1.5 and then the 1.25. And then next section up, yeah, I'm still continuing to take like 2 inches switches up from the previous section. This is my favourite curling technique to do anyway. So I always like to kind of toss the hair back that I've already done, just keep everything super clean. And you're gonna take your curling iron, holding it vertically this time, so completely different to before. Always keep the arm pointing towards your mirror. That's always my top tip. Close. As soon as you've got that close in, you want to get that first full rotation in. And then I always like to just slightly open this up if needs be to be able to glide down. Then you're unhooking underneath and then gliding down more. So again, if you need to, and her hairstylist was doing that as well, just slightly keep opening that so you've got a nice glide down. Sometimes when you have put product in the hair, it gives you that like sticky, not stickiness, that's the wrong word, but that like grip onto the styler. So yeah, probably won't like super easily glide through. You can literally just see the difference with that type of curl to then our bouncy ones under there. So this one is able to retain a lot more length and it's got more definition as well to it. I'll just repeat the same here on this side. So you're gonna make sure the arm is pointing towards your mirror. Pop it in vertically, close. As soon as you've got that close in, you wanna get that first rotation in and then let's eke it down just a little bit, unhook underneath, and then we go again. So move it down just a little bit, unhook underneath, and both of these curls I have done away from my face. You can see that one is going that way, this one is going that way. And again, I'm going to do the same on the next row up, I think.
I'm gonna do some wrapped like a wand. And I always go all the way to the ends because we like that really flippy kind of classic blowout look.
We're still using the 1.25 inch iron, but we're just doing, actually on this next row of hair, she's kind of doing a couple of techniques. She actually starts by holding some and just doing some like a wand. And from what I can see in the video, I think she's just flat wrapping as well. So that way you wanna hold your iron kind of diagonally pointing downwards. Start right at the root, then you'll wrap him from the root all the way down to the ends, and she's saying she's holding, she's getting as much of that end in as is like physically possible. I can get really close with my fingers and the tongue just because I'm so used to it. But yeah, just be careful if this is you. So she's done one like that, using it as a wand. As you can see, you get definitely a much more defined result here. And what I do like to do, because as I said already, my hair curls so easily, you can see how well it curls. I do just want to kind of pop that out slightly because I do want it all to blend in with the other hair underneath. So I'll just give that a little pop.
This one, I'm just going away from the face since we're starting to get into the bang area.
And then on the next section, it's kind of like a version of that one you just did before, where you're wrapping it around. But instead of like one wrap, unhook, one wrap, unhook, you start off at the root and then you kind of don't move away from the root. So you can, well, slightly like that, but you see you're always keeping the root in. I love to do this technique, especially for long hair, people whose hair drops. This gives you a really good bouncy curl. So you see how it's different to the one before, but kind of similar because you're like wrapping it around, but you're always keeping the root in, and then you just kind of drop it out of the tongue like that, and that just gives a really lovely bouncy curl. So those ones are quite nice for the back as well. Now you can pop away your 1.25 tong. We won't be needing that anymore, and we are changing tools again. So now her hairstylist is moving on to a flat iron, so I'm going to use my GHD Kronos straightener.
So I'm going into the front with a flat iron. I like the control that I can get with this. And where I see people struggle getting the volume around the part line is usually because you're using a curling iron, and a flat iron is just gonna help give you a little bit more control. And I wish I had a really good way to describe this, but I don't.
So basically it's the most complicated tutorial ever.
Then let me just let my hair fall. I mean, where do I want it to fall? It's just gonna go like in the middle usually. And I guess the good thing with a flat iron, for those of you who feel like with a curling iron it jumps up and goes too curly, I don't feel like you ever really do get that as much with a flat iron. So what we're gonna do now, we want to achieve that root lift first. So she's going first of all right at the root, and then she's lifting it up and out. And to be honest, you can really get a really good bit of root lift here by doing that. I'm really beveling the roots. Actually, let me swap hands for this side. So really bevel it up and around. You don't need to go all the way to the ends because we're just focusing on that root lift there. She basically does the hair in 3 parts. So root lift, then she comes in here and does 1 full turn. This is like my classic way I usually curl with a straightener. But then she comes out again, so you've just got like a bit of root lift there, a bit of curl there, and then it's like she goes in again. She almost like holds the styler upwards here, and then she's just doing that and just like a little half turn, just so you've got like a flick on the end. It's not a curl, and to be honest, that's probably even, that middle bit is probably too curly, so let me just iron over that, and I'll repeat that again for you guys. So we are lifting up and beveling up for that root lift. Don't need to glide all the way to the ends. Then you're positioning downwards on like a diagonal angle, and we're just going to twist the hair around, glide down again, not all the way to the ends, just kind of let that glide and fall off. Then I'll swap back to my right hand and position it upwards diagonally, and then just do a little half turn there. And it does give a really lovely result, but I will say, I mean, it is quite complex. You don't need to do a 3-step curl like that just to get a nice loose look like that. Just repeat the same, this side, swapping over hands. For those of you who also have bangs, any little short bits like that, I'm just going to show you what I do love to do with my flat iron to just incorporate it in with the rest of the look and the curl. So I love to like bend these bangs back and almost create like backward C shape, and I just literally love to tap it, and you are literally just tap 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 it with the flat iron just to get a really nice like curvature round in the hair. And I'm just going to pick up these shorter bits, do the same there as well. You kind of want it overlapping the hair when you dress these curls out. You don't want your whole bangs and your whole fringe sitting separate. And that's an extra little tip because obviously Kylie does not have a fringe, but I now do.
Okay, that is the hair. Bye, Sherilyn.
Literally, they did not talk at all about finishing products, but definitely they sprayed in what I think is a texturizing spray. Flipped her head upside down, so we'll do that. We are going to go in with the L'Oreal Professional Sauvage Panache, which is just a really nice, it's like a nice lightweight texturizing spray. Any texturizing spray gives you that fullness with a little bit of grit to the hair, I'd say. So at the moment, my hair is like silky soft and shining because we put the oil in, but this is gonna amplify it, just give it more body, but it does slightly mattify the hair, I'd say. She's kind of like shaking out the hair a bit and then just spraying this all throughout. Now we're going for the flip. Whoa, And then literally all I think she's done, didn't show her going through with the comb or anything. I think she's literally just gone through with her hands and broken it up and dressed out the curls. So let's do that and we'll see how we're looking. If we do need to run a comb through it, then we can. But I think she's just done this basically. And it didn't show her going in with any hairspray, but I will go with my final step of hairspray just because I, like probably most of you guys, I do get a lot of these little shorter flyaway pieces at the top that then just makes it look a bit messy. And also just my bangs, I love to kind of push them flat, kind of bring them together and just spray those into place as well. So I'm doing that, misting my bangs into place as well as just securing down any little flyaways. And this hairspray that I'm using is also L'Oreal Professional, it's the Infinium Pure 6. And yeah, if you feel like you want to, you can also just spray the mid-lengths and ends just so it's got like a nice hold to it. I'm not gonna lie, I am so impressed with that. Like it came out even better on my hair than what I thought it would. And this was literally my first time recreating this tutorial. I love it. I mean, we've got to bear in mind, think about how much Kylie Jenner pays her hairstylist for a hairstyling appointment. You are gonna want a hairstylist who's bringing you like different techniques, different ideas to achieve a look. And I feel like, yeah, if you actually look how much volume I've got in my hair, it is that perfect celeb hair where it's loose, but it's not flat. Like you've still got so much volume and body and width. It is so good. But I think being realistic, it absolutely isn't like an everyday hair tutorial to do because we have literally, I mean, I have used I've used 4 tools on my hair today. So we've used a lot of tools, but I absolutely think for you guys, if you're going out, you want to try something fun, especially if you're going on a night out or an event where you just want your hair to like look the best and feel just like really celeb and A-lister, I think this is absolutely an amazing tutorial to follow. Just to have something a little bit different and just to have fun styling your hair and just try something new. So another week where I've absolutely loved bringing you guys this video and creating this look for you. If you don't already, make sure that you subscribe because I post videos like this every single week. If you like this video, if you learn anything new, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up below. And yeah, I'll be seeing you next week for another one of my hair videos. Bye guys and have an amazing day.